The galaxy first learned to fear humans on a Tuesday. Which, as Admiral Nathan Hale was fond of saying, was poetic, because Tuesdays were universally terrible. Ask any species. On Earth, they meant forgotten homework, broken printers, surprise audits, and coffee machines dying at 8:59 a.m. In the wider cosmos, they now meant something far worse. The day the Terran Confederacy finally stopped smiling politely and decided to demonstrate why poking the quiet kid in class was a galactic mistake. At first, though, the galaxy didn't see it that way. For nearly 2 centuries after Earth's first contact, humans had been boring. They traded politely, signed treaties, sent artists to interstellar expos, and introduced beer pong to bewildered diplomats. They stayed out of wars. They avoided disputes. They even declined invitations to join military coalitions. In short, Earth wanted peace. So when the Vrax Dominion declared humanity irrelevant background species and placed embargoes on Terran trade, nobody expected a response. When Vrax raiding fleets harassed Terran freighters, the galaxy shrugged. When Vrax battleships parked themselves at the edge of Sol and broadcast a declaration of subjugation, the galaxy chuckled. They won't fight, scoffed Chancellor Rux of the Dominion, his mandibles clicking smugly. The humans have no history of war. Which was true, if you only read the last 2 centuries of their history. Admiral Nathan Hale sat at the head of the Terran Strategic Council, stirring his coffee with an expression that could best be described as mildly amused at impending doom. "Shall I read the ultimatum again?" asked his aide, a young ensign nervously scrolling the Dominion's demands. "No need," Hale replied smoothly. "I remember the highlights. Surrender, tribute, kneel, mandatory statue of Rux in Trafalgar Square." Delightful sense of humor, those insectoids. "They don't have humor, sir." Hale smiled. "Exactly." Around the table, diplomats, ministers, and military officers whispered. Most humans had hoped the Dominion's saber-rattling would pass. After all, Terran doctrine was peace. Cooperation. Building bridges, not blowing them up. But as Hale gently set his cup down, the room fell quiet. "Ladies and gentlemen," he said softly, "I regret to inform you, the Vrax have mistaken our silence for weakness." Someone coughed. Someone else muttered, "That's bad." Hale's smile widened just enough to show teeth. "No. That's worse. Because now, we have to teach them the difference." The first clash came at Europa Station. The Dominion sent a fleet of 12 warships, confident that the Terrans would scuttle and run. Instead, the ships found Europa's ice cracking open to reveal massive cannons, disguised as geothermal vents. Human engineers, long dismissed as eccentric tinkerers, had been quietly building planetary defenses under the galaxy's nose. The Vrax fleet was shredded in minutes. A single survivor limped home with one haunting transmission. Hale's calm voice, broadcast in perfect Dominion dialect. "We asked for peace. You asked for proof we could fight. Kindly stop asking." The galaxy didn't laugh this time. As weeks passed, the Dominion doubled down. More fleets poured into Terran space. They expected desperation. They expected humans to beg. Instead, they found something else. Terran convoys turned out to be bait, leading Dominion raiders into carefully mined asteroid fields. Civilian colonies revealed hidden bunkers and militias drilled with unnerving discipline. Even the moon, mocked by Dominion commentators as a barren rock with flags, erupted with railguns. And everywhere, Dominion soldiers reported the same thing: humans smiling. Not the placid smiles of diplomats. Not the welcoming smiles of friends. These were the grins of poker players with aces up their sleeves. The kind of smile that said, "You've already lost, but please, keep playing." One Dominion captain described his boarding action in terror before his tribunal. "They didn't retreat," he babbled. "They welcomed us in. We breached their station and they handed us mugs of coffee. And smiled. And then the walls exploded." Admiral Hale watched the reports with polite detachment. You know, he mused during a briefing, humans have an odd tradition called the smile before the storm. Pirates smile before a raid. Chess masters smile before a trap. Mothers smile before they tell you you're in trouble. It's cultural shorthand for doom. His officers laughed uneasily. But the Vraks don't know that, Hale added, his tone sharpening. They think it's submission. So let's keep smiling. The war escalated. The Dominion deployed a planet-buster superweapon, confident it would break human morale. They aimed it at Mars. But when the weapon fired, the projectile hit nothing. Mars shimmered and vanished. The galaxy gasped. The Dominion panicked. Had the humans destroyed their own colony? No. They had moved it. Mars reappeared 3 hours later, unharmed, surrounded by human ships bristling with strange new weapons. Hale's voice echoed across the stars. Apologies for the magic trick. We like to rehearse before the real performance. The galaxy's dread deepened. At the climax, the Dominion sent everything. 500 ships. Entire legions of soldiers. They meant to crush Earth once and for all. The invasion fleet descended on Sol and found the system waiting. Every planet, every moon, every rock seemed armed. Civilian transports revealed themselves as warships in disguise. Old satellites unfolded into missile platforms. Even comets were weaponized, redirected by tug ships into perfect intercept trajectories. The Dominion fleet advanced, and then realized, too late, that they were surrounded. Hale's voice cut across the comms, calm and faintly amused. You thought we stayed silent out of fear. But silence, my friends, is the most dangerous sound of all. It means we were listening, learning, preparing. And then the trap snapped shut. The battle lasted only an hour. When it ended, the Dominion's greatest fleet was gone. Not defeated, erased. The galaxy trembled. Empires that once mocked humanity now scrambled to sign treaties. Species that once ignored them now begged for alliances. And the humans, they kept smiling. The true twist came later. In the aftermath, while the galaxy licked its wounds, a Dominion spy finally uncovered a chilling truth. The humans hadn't improvised their defenses. They hadn't scrambled at the last minute. They had planned this. For centuries, while the galaxy dismissed them as harmless, the Terrans had been building, testing, preparing for the day someone mistook their silence for weakness. And Admiral Hale's final broadcast confirmed it. To our friends across the stars, please understand. We do not seek war. We wanted peace, and still do. But peace, as we define it, requires teeth. And now you've seen ours. He paused, smiling faintly. And if you're wondering, yes. This was only a demonstration. The feed cut. The galaxy went silent. And for the first time, they finally understood. Humanity hadn't avoided war out of cowardice. They had avoided war out of courtesy. And courtesy, as every human knows, runs out eventually.